I love it. I love the cherry grape flavor. No one knows what I'm talking about, but I love it. Right there, yes sir, in the red.
Can you say personal concerts like a content in the world in Carrero voice? And second, what's it like to play Carrero?
Okay.
First they'll conquer Supracon as handsome Carrero, then they'll conquer the world! Kill.
And then playing Carrero is a lot of fun because I think it fits my Asian voice. Because what happens is I'm part Vietnamese and I have a very nasally affectation to my voice, and that's because the language is so nasally. And I wondered for years why it wasn't. I had vocal coaches try to get rid of that part of my voice. It's in there. It's like lodged right in there. So I can't get rid of it. So this is an opportunity to embrace it. And I remember when I first heard about Sergeant Frog, I had no clue about this show. Rita Palencia and I were directing at Okatron, which is Chris Sabbath's studio. And I was sitting there and she goes, there's this new show called Sergeant Frog that you should audition for. And I'm like, cool, okay, yeah. And she goes, it's about 323 episodes. I was like, that caught my ear. Like, what? So I was like, okay, tell me more. So she told me a little bit more about it, and she said that, oh, you'd be good for Carrero and this, and all these Roboros and Giroros and all this stuff. And I said, great, okay, cool. And I went in and I was terrified because I saw some of the footage, and I'm like, how do you come up with a voice like that? What do you do for a frog from space? So I did something, and originally there was a test episode that we did. We put it out on YouTube, and the people gave their feedback, and I was originally Kulu, but Chris Kaysen was Carrero. But just through the powers that be and the way that decisions got made, I was switched over to Carrero, and Kaysen became something else later down the road. So I'm very happy that happened, of course, but it was a lot of fun, and I hope that those of you that have seen it love it, and those of you that haven't seen it are going to go right to the dealer room and get season 1. Yes, ma'am.
Remember those last couple episodes where you were coughing a lot and like lots of movement?
Yes.
How much did that hurt to do that?
Well, here's the thing with Holly. She asked me, there's some episodes in Holly where I was coughing a lot. She was asking me how much did that hurt. With Watanuki, that role, for 4 episodes, it takes me typically 60 hours to record those. And so they need to do it pretty quickly. So I go in and I usually lose my voice. So the coughing was pretty real because at that time I had pretty much lost my voice. So the coughing came easily. Yes, it hurt, but you know what? I've got so much blood in the body, I don't need the blood that was coughing up. I've got a little bit. I can feel the puddle in my hand. I have so much more blood than that. So it's totally fine. Yes, right there. Yes, sir. Have I been like a Soldier A-type character in a live action film? And then what was the other part? Okay. Have I ever been a bit part in film or anime, and what's it like getting killed off? I have been a bit part in films, and it's kind of funny because a lot of people, there's a whole attitude shift. So like, you know, I'm very happy and very lucky and fortunate to be a producer and also starring in movies and things like this that they're all bad, but I still starred in them. But when you go on set as an extra, there's a whole attitude shift where you feel like you gotta kind of prove yourself, like, well, I'm an extra here, but I do other things. I do movies. So that was in my younger years. I would come with that attitude. But now, if I'm an extra on the film, it's like, cool, I get to be on set for how many days? Wow, only 2, 3 days? Sweet. That beats 12 hours a day of 2 weeks. That's awesome. So now it's kind of like a little vacation. It's fun to travel and go to the film sets and stuff. In anime, yes, I've been, those first 2 roles that I had, in Peach Girl and Black Cat, were my 2 shots at big roles. And so I think there are some others littered throughout there, but that's really, the Funimation tricks me. So what they do is the director will pop in and go, hey, can I get you for a pickup real quick? Which is really just going back and redoing the line that you've already done. Just there's like a word that needs to be changed or something. So it's really fast. But then they'll be like, actually it's not a pickup, it's a bit part. Could you just do this real fast? So I get tricked a lot into doing things like that. But I love Funimation still. Yes, in the back.
Curious what it's like to be a hero in Bakugo alongside the other 12 main characters.
What's it like being Firo Prochaneso in Bakugo? Well, I got a lot of family up there from New York and a lot of family from Chicago, so it was easy to, I just kind of channeled my grandmother, who talks a little bit like this. She's a round woman and she comes across very, oh really, is that what you're doing? You think you're going to do a little cartoon, huh? I'm going to find out about that. And then my grandfather, God rest his soul, he was like, oh, Todd, good to see you. Bring me another vodka sour. He was, so it was easy to kind of go into that because, the family from there. Little Ricky, hey Ricky, come over here, that goes on, I know, I'm Vietnamese, but it still goes on. But that was a lot of fun. And then playing alongside everybody else, it was great to see everyone's work. Because we rarely get to see the finished product with everybody recorded. So when we watch episodes here with you guys, we're watching it for the first times ourselves usually. Yes, right over there. Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you very much. Yes, playing Death the Kid. Death the Kid was an interesting challenge because I didn't want it to be like Watanuki. So if you'll notice in the episode 3, where Death the Kid appears, that voice quality is different than what you find later on in the episode because we were discovering the voice right there and we were all trying to be like, don't be like Watanuki, don't do that. So I still flip out, but it's in a different register, in a different place than how Watanuki flips out. I hope if I've done my job correctly. There's some of you are like, shh, it's the same thing. Look, closing my eyes and listening, it's the same thing. No, but I tried. Yes, ma'am.
How'd you like playing Rocky and Claymore?
Playing Rocky and Claymore was interesting. Did a lot of crying. A lot of people on the other side of the building were like, you're so whiny. I'm so mad at you, Todd. Why are you so whiny? It's not my fault. That's the way the character is drawn. So people are like, I read some of the reviews online and people are like, Todd Haberkorn plays Rocky very whiny, very sniveling and useless. And
I love Rocky.
I'm like, but there's somewhere you're threatening. But I'll chat with them later.
I love Rocky.
Thank you. I love Rocky too. You know what? He's a little boy. He's in touch with his emotions. He cried. I let my son cry. Like, cry it out, buddy. I'm not gonna yell at you. Let him cry it out. Cry.
When you're in theater, it's a lot easier to act because you can use more than just your voice, you use your body, facial expression. How do you put forth all that emotion that you can into just your voice? Do you have anything that you do?
She's asking the difference in acting, what you put into your acting on stage as opposed to behind the mic. When I'm behind the mic, see, my problem is that I had a lot of imaginary friends growing up, and I was an only child. So it's easy to kind of imagine and picture what that's like for me, because I really would be in my room like fighting myself, or chatting and talking and creating this world. And that sounds weird, but it's like, it's a weird business. I'm in a box, being an animated 2D thing that looks like me, but it's not me, and its hair is big and black, and I have black hair, but it's not me. And so it's but on stage, it's not that it's easier for me, but it's easier only in the sense that we have more time to prepare it. So like in Rin, which is the show that I did, I was the villain in Rin Apos. There's a part where, I don't know if you've seen the show, but there's a little bit of a reveal near the end. I was like, I wasn't ready for that. And there's a little, like goes off. Oh, that's what's going on there. Okay. And I didn't know. And so sometimes I think it would be better, we don't get copies of the script, we don't know what happened in the show before we do it. I think for me, it would be more beneficial if I did. Because then I can kind of prepare my arc, my character arc. Because otherwise I'm just kind of going on with what the director tells me. That's what the director is so important, because they won't tell you anything.